What if your classroom wasn't just about exams, but survival? Behind friendly smiles lies a dark, twisted system. When a transfer student enters this world, she refuses to stay silent. But in a classroom built on power and manipulation, can one girl stand against everyone? Hey everyone! This is Xin Edits, and we're going to talk about the pyramid game. The drama starts with a flashback. A girl is standing in front of the entire class holding a knife. One of the girls steps forward and says, "Don't do this. Why do you have to do this?" The girl hesitates for a moment, then suddenly attacks her, saying, "It's all your fault." The knife cuts her neck, blood begins to drip, and the girl screams in fear. The story then shifts from the past to the present. A transfer student is introduced, the heroine of the drama. Ever since she was a child, she has been forced to move from one school to another because of her father's job as a soldier. Once again, she finds herself enrolling in this school. On her way, a teacher catches her for being late and asks why. She replies that another teacher told her to come late since it was her first day. It is a complete lie, but she manages to get away with it. On her way to the teacher's office, she accidentally bumps into another girl who ends up stepping on her foot. The girl quickly apologizes, and our heroine brushes it off, saying it's fine, and turns to leave. Just then, the girl casually tells her that the teacher's office is on the 4th floor. The heroine thanks her at first, but then realization strikes. How did that girl know she was heading to the teacher's office? Her teacher handed her a name tag. Her name was Song Suji. She had a casual conversation with him, and he seemed like a kind, approachable person. But the other teachers were whispering among themselves while glancing at her, which felt a little odd. She quietly followed her teacher to her classroom, which was in a separate building far from the others. The building was new and surprisingly luxurious. When she introduced herself, the reaction from the other students was not what she had expected. It felt strange. She quietly walked to the seat her teacher indicated and sat down, trying not to draw any more attention. Her teacher told her to wake the girl next to her, and she did, but the girl's reaction startled her. Her arms and body were covered in wounds, and Suji immediately realized that she was a bully. After the teacher left, Suji tried to start a conversation, but the girl sharply cut her off, saying, "Don't talk to me." A few other students then approached her, speaking politely and kindly, which made Suji feel a bit relieved. But the first girl ignored everyone and walked away coldly, leaving an unsettling impression. Later, the class president told everyone to gather for music class. During the lesson, the teacher asked who would perform, and instantly, the entire class shouted one name, Yurim. The girl hesitated for a moment, then said, "If everyone wants me to, I'll do it," and stepped forward to play. Just then, the girl from before appeared. Her name was Jayun. As the teacher began scolding her, Yarem started playing her music, clearly to avoid any scene. Yarem begins her performance, and everyone is clearly enjoying it. During the class, Suji learns from the other students that Yarem is a K-pop trainee. After the lesson ends, Suji says goodbye and leaves the classroom, but once again, the atmosphere shifts, turning strangely uneasy behind her. She went to a convenience store to buy a snack and a drink. After paying, she was about to leave when her name tag slipped off and fell to the floor, unnoticed by her. The next day, when she went to class and took her seat, Jaeyoon sat down beside her. Suji suddenly caught the smell of cigarette smoke, which made her uneasy. As the day went on, Suji managed to make a few friends while chatting with her classmates. During lunch, however, she noticed something strange. There were no students from other classes, only her own. It felt as if the cafeteria belonged exclusively to them, and the realization unsettled her. As she walked down the hallway, she noticed cameras installed on the buildings. Suddenly, she heard a noise and turned around. It was Harin, hurriedly apologizing to Jaeyoon for accidentally stepping on her foot. After the cut, we see the girls playing together, laughing and enjoying themselves. Suddenly, a loud noise breaks the moment, and once again, it is Jaeyoon. The girls quietly tell Suji that Jaeyoon is really scary. Hearing this, Suji begins to understand something. There is something strange about this class. Something about it feels wrong, and it doesn't seem good at all. Soon after, Suji realizes that Jaeyoon is not the bully at all, is the others who are bullying her. Suji witnesses the way they treat her, laughing and taking pleasure in her suffering. After they leave, Suji enters the room and urges Jaeyoon to report everything to the teachers. She hands her a bandage, gently insisting until Jaeyoon finally takes it. In that moment, Suji notices a cut mark on Jaeyoon's wrist. That is when she truly understands how serious the situation is. Suddenly, one of the girls entered the room to call Suji. The moment she realized that Suji had begun to uncover the truth, her expression changed and she quickly left without saying another word. Jaeyoon then asked Suji what day it was. When Suji replied that it was Thursday, Jaeyoon immediately stood up and pushed her toward the door, saying urgently, "Go back to class. Right now." Suji was left completely confused, unable to understand what was happening. When she reached the classroom, everyone was already gathered there, which felt strange. Suddenly, the class president, Doa, announced that they were going to play a game. Suji was completely confused. A game, all of a sudden? Doa then sent her a link and Suji logged in without fully understanding what was happening. She then begins to explain the game. It's a ranking system. Rank A holds complete control over everyone below B, C, and D, and those ranks can never go against A. At the very bottom is F, the complete opposite of A. The one with 0 votes or anyone who refuses to participate in the game is automatically placed in F. Suji realized who is the current F of the class. To play the game, each student must vote for 5 people. Finally, the game began and everyone started voting. The girl Suji had befriended leaned over and asked her to vote for her. Trusting her, Suji agreed, believing the girl would do the same in return. When the results were announced, the classroom buzzed with excitement. Everyone seemed pleased with their rankings. The girl whispered to Suji that her rank had gone up, her face glowing with happiness. But when Suji checked her own result, she froze. Her screen showed F without a single vote. After the cut, we see Suji sitting alone at the dining table in her house, quietly waiting for her father to return. She carefully aligns her spoon in a perfectly straight position, a small detail that reflects how neatly and disciplined she has been raised. When her father finally arrives, he asks her how school was. Suji simply replies that it was fine. The next day, as Suji sat at her desk, a girl approached her. Her name was Daeyeon, and she was casually blowing a whistle. Confused, Suji asked why she was doing that. Daeyeon replied coldly, saying that this was how they trained their dog. Before Suji can even react, one of the girls suddenly starts beating her up, throwing her onto the floor like it's just another regular school activity. When Suji tries to speak, Daeyeon shuts her down instantly, telling her to keep quiet and do whatever they say because apparently that's the rulebook here. And honestly, respect to Suji. Even though she's clearly losing and way too weak to fight back, she still raises her middle finger at them. That just gets her beaten up even more. She locked herself in the washroom and checked the mirror, realizing they weren't leaving any evidence, no bruises anywhere. During lunch, Daeyeon came over again, this time with a pill, and dropped it into Suji's soup, ordering her to eat it. Suji pretended to take a bite, then challenged Daeyeon to guess whether she had actually eaten it. If she guessed wrong, she had to leave Suji alone. Daeyeon first said she hadn't, but when Suji asked, "You really think I didn't?" she immediately changed her answer to yes. Suji opened her hand, revealing the pill untouched, and Daeyeon's face darkened instantly. Suji soon discovers that the cameras in the building have been removed, so she decides to start recording everything for evidence. On her way, she bumps into Harin. She warns her, "Don't go that way." Daeyeon is looking for F. Stepping closer, Harin adds softly, "Just hang in there, Suji. It's not your fault." With that, she quietly walks away, leaving Suji with a mix of relief and unease. Those girls tortured Suji in many ways, but in front of the teacher they acted kind and friendly. Because of that, the teacher believed Suji had already made friends. Later, in the hallway, when Yarim and the other girls appeared, they immediately backed away from Suji. Harin quietly asked if she was okay, and Suji simply nodded in response. Later, Daeyeon openly announced in front of the class that everyone was free to mess with the FS. After that, the other students also began targeting Suji, annoying her in countless ways. That was when Suji decided to plan something of her own. During class, she suddenly spoke up, loud enough for everyone to hear, and told Jaeyoon that they should vote for each other so neither of them would be an F anymore. The classroom instantly fell silent. Everyone was shocked by her words. Jaehoon dragged Suji outside and demanded to know what she was doing. Confused, Suji replied that they should vote for each other and make someone else the F so neither of them would have to be one anymore. But Jaehoon wasn't ready to accept the idea. She firmly refused, said she wouldn't do it, and walked away, leaving Suji standing there alone. When she went to buy her usual items at the convenience store, the cashier handed her the name tag she had lost. Back at school, Suji tried again and again to convince Jaeyoon to agree to her plan, but she failed every time. Jaeyoon cut her off without hesitation, refusing to listen. Watching all of this, Yerim laughed at Suji, and that reaction made Suji start to suspect her. Suji began to wonder who had created this game and why. She also started to suspect that Yerim might be connected to it. Finally, Suji confronted her, asking why she was playing such a game at all. If people found out, it could cause serious trouble for her, especially since she was a trainee. Yerim only smiled casually and replied, "What should I say? Maybe to keep a small secret." After the cut, we see one of the mean girls speaking politely and sweetly to someone until that person deliberately steps on her foot, a quiet reminder of where she stands. After class, Daeyeon and her group come back to torture Suji again, but this time, they cross a line. They bring a container filled with live worms and try to force her to swallow them. Suji spits them out in panic. One of the girls crouches down to pick them up, softly humming to herself. The sound feels familiar. Then another girl sneers at her, saying, "You're such a wannabe. Why are you trying to copy her?" In that moment, it clicks for Suji. She remembers who used to hum like that. It was Harin. Suddenly, everything makes sense. Harin is the one behind the game, the one everyone fears. Suji finally sees the devil hidden behind an angelic smile. Harin helps Suji get back on her feet like nothing happened. Later, during a staff meeting, one of the teachers brings up the issue of students getting bullied. And of course, the principal immediately jumps in and says, "They're just playing around. Why are you making it sound so serious? They're just kids." Yes, that lady, the one who irritates everyone the most. Just when another teacher is about to say something sensible, Suji's class teacher smoothly changes the topic. Suji decides to ask her teacher about the cameras. When she brings it up, another teacher immediately asks why she would even need cameras, saying that only their class uses that building. Doa notices her and later warns her not to tell the teachers anything. After that, Suji starts learning more about Doa and some other kids. And she can't help but wonder how all of them ended up in the same classroom. They all have a good status. It can't be a coincidence. Later, Suji had a conversation with Harin and asked why someone made this game. Harin replied casually that it was simply for fun, having fun while others suffer. In that moment, Suji understood just how psycho she really was. When she returned to class, a girl immediately confronted her, asking where she had been and where she went during the break. She blamed Suji, saying that because of her, Daeyeon had started bullying others. Suji felt her blood boil and shouted back without thinking. Then she suddenly realized everyone was watching. If she didn't lower her head now, she wouldn't get a single vote in the next game. Later that day, Suji meets Jaeyoon and deliberately puts on an act, fake crying just enough to make sure it works. She asks Jaeyoon to trade votes with her. Jaeyoon hesitates and says she doesn't play the game, adding that maybe she could talk to two other students. Since they seem nice, they might help. But Suji already knows the truth. In this class, there are no nice kids. They went to those girls. The girls snapped at them, saying they should be ashamed for even suggesting a vote trade. They blamed Suji and Jaeyoon, saying that because of them, they were getting bullied too, and made it clear they would never help. With that, they walked away. Suji then turned to Jaeyoon and said, "See? No one here is nice. People are selfish. That's just how they are. You and I aren't any different." The words clearly hurt Jaeyoon. She apologized to Suji and walked away. Later, Suji goes to visit her father. He's just about to ask her something about school when she cuts him off immediately, asking when the next transfer is and where they're moving to. In her head, this is escape plan activated. But instead, her father casually drops the real news. She doesn't have to change schools anymore. She'll be graduating from this one because his duty has been extended. And just like that, Suji's hopes shatter into a million tiny pieces. Escape canceled. The next day, Jaeyoon doesn't show up at school. Suji keeps thinking about what happened yesterday. Maybe she was too harsh. Maybe she really hurt her. The thought won't leave her. She knows she messed up. Yerim notices it all. For once, she looks genuinely sad. But when one of her friends asks if they should help Suji, Yerim just says, "Nah, just leave her." Yesterday, Harin saw everything, and she clearly wasn't happy about Jaeyoon getting close to Suji. Jaeyoon ignored Suji's messages, and that's when the truth becomes clear. The real reason Jaeyoon skipped school wasn't Suji at all. It was Harin. Later, Suji finds out from Yerim that Harin's parents own the school, which means no matter what happens, no one can complain about her, ever. And then the scene cuts to Jaeyoon. quietly filling out a dropout form. She ran into her teacher in the hallway. He asked if something was bothering her, told her she could talk to him anytime. For a second, Suji thought, maybe she should try. Maybe it was worth it. She was just about to speak when Doa stepped in, saying the principal was calling him. After class, Suji tried again. Same thing, Doa showed up again calling her. Even the next day in the staff room again. That's when Doa warned her quietly. If she told him anything, things would only get worse. During the break, one of the teachers finally notices how the students are treating Suji. She quietly asks the others if they're sure this isn't bullying. That's when Suji's class teacher steps in and questions the students about what they're doing. Of course, they brush it off, saying they're just playing around. Suddenly, Suji says she isn't feeling well and asks if she can be taken to the nurse's office. Doa immediately volunteers to take her, but the teacher insists that he will go instead. So the two of them walk away together, while the rest of the class watches in silence. Their strange stares making it clear they already know what's about to happen. She asks him if they can hold a discipline committee for their class too, maybe under the anti-bullying rules. He looks at her and asks, straight apart, "You getting bullied?" Suji quietly says, yes. He tells her there was once a girl named Wori who went through the same thing, and then added, Jaeyoon, skipping school, this is because of bullying too, right? Just when Suji thinks he's finally taking her seriously, he suddenly goes, "Can you say that again?" and pulls out his phone to record. Meanwhile, in the group chat, the other kids are already clowning her, calling Suji dumb and saying she walked straight into a psycho trap. Suji looks at him in terror. He lets out a dry laugh and says that kids these days are smart. They don't even leave evidence anymore. Then, just like that, he slaps her, saying he needs proof. When he raises his hand to hit her again, someone suddenly starts banging on the door. Distracted, he turns around. Suji takes the chance, pushes him away, and runs for the door. When she opens it, it's Jaeyoon. Jaeyoon immediately notices the phone, grabs it, dumps it into boiling water, and then pulls Suji away as they both run. As they ran through the hallway, that female teacher noticed them again. She looked confused, clearly sensing something was wrong. Jaeyoon pulled Suji up to the rooftop and snapped, asking why she told him everything. Then she added, "I should have told you this earlier. There was a girl in our class named Wori. Daeyeon bullied her too, using those videos. He blackmailed Daeyeon, threatening to tell her parents, and made money off it. And now he was trying to use you as evidence." Suji asked Jaeyoon how she even knew she was there. Jaeyoon said she came to submit her dropout form. That's when she saw the chats. Suji told her, "You have to play this game. We need to stop it. If we just get at least one vote, we won't be F anymore." The next day in class, Jaeyoon was nowhere to be seen. When game time came, Suji lost all hope. And then Jaeyoon walked in. Everyone froze, especially Harin. She did not like that. Suji finally felt relieved. Once again, the game began. Everyone started voting. Suji and Jaeyoon exchanged their votes just like they planned. Then, the results came out, and the whole class went dead silent. Suji froze on the spot. She was only expecting one vote, but instead, she got rank C with 5 votes. She finally let out a long sigh of relief. She doesn't have to suffer anymore.